Alright, so this says use the figures to find missing angle measures not drawn to scale. There are two problems on your bell work paper for this, but we're only going to do number one here. We are not going to do number two. This one here, we're not going to do it, so you can just go ahead and cross it off. So for number one, first let's look at our picture. You'll see here that we have two parallel lines, which I'm going to highlight in yellow, and they are cut by this blue transversal. When looking at the yellow lines, we know that they are parallel because of these arrows that are on them. The arrows there show us that they are parallel. So if we know down here they give us one angle measure, and we're going to have to use that and our knowledge of angle relationships to figure out the measure of angle D. So if you look down here, this angle is 35 degrees. If we look, 35 degrees and this unmarked angle right there are congruent to each other because the two green dots are alternate interior angles. They're on opposite sides of the transversal and inside the yellow lines. So if this green dot down here is 35 degrees, then we know this angle here that we put a green dot on has to be 35 degrees. Now that we know the measure of this angle that I put the green dot on, we can easily find the measure of angle D. Because if we look, angle D and this green angle, which is 35, they form a straight line. They make a linear pair, which means they are supplementary. Their sum is 180. So we know that the measure of angle D, whatever it is, plus 35 degrees has to equal 180. So now we can just take this equation and solve it for the measure of angle D. So we're going to subtract 35 from both sides. When we do that, these 35s cancel out. And we get that the measure of angle D is equal to 145 degrees. And that is our final answer.